Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan and it's time for our Gameweek 36 episode of 100 Experts, the video where we'll be having a look at some transfer trends, captaincy and chip usage among 100 FPL experts to see if we can find any trends. And there definitely are some trends as well as some interesting differentials and a really hot captaincy debate. So guys, this is going to be a good one. If you do enjoy it, please do drop a like, do subscribe if you are new around here. Let's start the video. Alright, so first of all, a massive thank you to all of our experts that helped us out by providing their data for this week with what they are up to. There's a lot of transfer moves happening this week, some really obvious, some not so much. So thank you to all of these people, whether you made boring transfers or not so boring transfers. Let's see what you've been doing. So out of our 100 expert managers, 45% are making one transfer, 39% are making two transfers, 6% are making three transfers. So quite a heavy week for those transfers, guys. About half kind of only making the one transfer, the other half making more than one transfer, 2 or 3 transfers. We've got 2% of the wildcards and free hits. So one manager's on a wildcard, one manager is on a free hit. We are running out of time to use these chips, so these managers are using them indeed this week. And 8% are not making a transfer this week. So not very many people are choosing to roll the transfer this week. It seems like there is definitely going to be some opportunities and some kind of moves that we will be wanting to make. But first of all, guys, let's have a look at the overall trends in FPL. So among all our managers in the world, all 11, 12, however many million there are of us these days, we've got Wilson as the #1 transfer target of the week. Everyone seems to be going for Wilson at the moment. Isak up there as well as an alternative to Wilson if you want to go for that Newcastle forward. And we've got McAllister creeping in there at third. Odegaard over 100,000 transfers in at time of recording as well. And after that, we have got a bit of a drop-off with kind of some other random names in there. Some people who have been performing very well recently, others kind of looking to target the double game week as well. But among these players, how many are also being picked up by our experts? Well, it's 5 of them, so not too bad. There's quite a lot of kind of similarities, particularly at the top. Wilson, Isak and McAllister also super popular among experts. We're going to find out exactly how popular each of these players are very shortly. And we've got Joelinton and Mittelmar there as well that have a little bit of interest in them. But outside of these 5 players, there's not really too much interest in any of the other players. In fact, Rashford and Trippier in particular, none of our experts are bringing in those players, but that is probably because everyone who wants Rashford or Trippier by now already has him, particularly among the top FPL managers. Maybe some other people in the wider FPL world are kind of lagging a little bit behind on that one, trying to catch up on that one, but that's absolutely fine as well. But yeah, we've got a few other players here like Odegaard, Estupinian, Trent, Salah, and Fabian Schär. Only sort of with one transfer in each, so very minimal interest in the likes of Odegaard and Estupinian, considering how popular those two players in particular are among the wider FPL player base. So let's first of all have a look at who is being sold and who are they being replaced with. So among our experts, the most popular transfers out are really clear. Super clear, in fact. Solly March is the most transferred player out. 47 out of our 90 transfer-making managers are going to be removing Solly March. For good reason. It looks like he is going to be injured for a long time, so maybe he's not going to be available for the double game week now, or potentially even the double game week next week as well. So yeah, it's a good time to remove Solly March. We're just going to have to find a replacement for him, unfortunately. He's not going to be available. Ollie Watkins as well, a player who has blanked a lot recently, also being heavily sold. No secret, guys, Watkins is being replaced en masse by Newcastle forwards, and we're going to see which of the Newcastle forwards are more popular in just one moment among our experts. So I know a lot of you guys are having that debate. We will get there, but there are some other players being removed as well. Jack Grealish with his rest last game, and a little bit of concern about more rest with the Champions League around at the moment, and other midfield options that could maybe be pretty decent. People are tending to remove Grealish at the moment. Tony as well, another player moving on to some Newcastle forwards, but we've got some others. Botman, for example, if you've kind of got 3 Newcastle players already and you really want to get another Newcastle attacker, forward or midfielder, then maybe Botman does need to be sacrificed, and that's exactly what some of our experts are doing, selling Botman to free up a 3rd Newcastle slot to go for a slightly more attacking player. Jota as well, a few sells there. Kane, Saka, those are being sold as well. But who is going to be the replacements? Who is going to be the most popular Newcastle forward to go to among our experts? Well, it is Alexander Isak. Yes, 38 out of 90 are going for him. So he is by far the most popular transfer in of the game week. With that amount of numbers, that is really, really quite significant. So a lot of people looking to move him in. And to be fair, a lot of our managers we've seen in previous weeks have already brought Isak in as well. So that's going to be added to that. So Isak does seem to be the most popular and very much safe option that our experts are going for. No real massive surprise there. Isak, we kind of already understood that Isak is the safe option and Wilson is that little bit more explosive option, but hey, the safe ones are often the best ones to go for. So, I mean, there you go. Isak, number one, most popular transfer in among experts. McAllister is coming in second here as well. A lot of people looking to move March onto a different Manchester United, Brighton midfielder, and McAllister is a very, very natural replacement there. We have got Mitoma there as well, but a lot of our experts already had Mitoma, so there's not as many people going for him now because they already have him. They usually have Mitoma and March, and they're now replacing March with McAllister because they already had Mitoma. So hopefully that makes sense. But Wilson is still very popular. So McAllister and Wilson, yes, they're not quite as popular as Isak this week, but they still do have a significant amount of transfers in. So let's not write these players off. Just because I'm saying Isak is the most popular doesn't mean these other players are non-options. They are 100% really decent options, and Wilson is definitely a lot higher than so many others of the kind of transfers that our experts are making. A lot of our managers also doubling up on the Newcastle attack as well, which is really, really exciting to see. Maybe some of you guys are going to be going for that. But we have got a few other players here that are worth noting. So Willock and Joelinton, two Newcastle midfielders. Obviously, Joelinton has been performing better than Willock in terms of FPL, but Willock actually has got the better underlying numbers at the moment, and he's a little bit cheaper as well. So a lot of people are actually fancying Willock as a real differential there. So you can see that even though kind of March is being sold, it's not just other Brighton midfielders that are being brought in. Willock, Joelinton, they are also very much in the conversation. And at the bottom here, we've got Evan Ferguson. He's kind of a bit of a differential kind of Brighton attacker to go for. When he's fit and available, he often is the starting striker for Brighton. He's not nailed on, so to speak, but he does very well when he plays. And the only single game week player on the entire list is Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes against Wolves at home. A lot of our expert managers are expecting big things from Bruno Fernandes. So 5 transfers in for him. That's quite significant, and he's the most popular transferred in single game week player that maybe a few of you guys can consider as well if you feel like you've already got your double game week players sorted. So let's suggest some transfers. So first of all, let's talk about those Newcastle forwards. It's really, really obvious, isn't it, guys? Watkins to Isak is by far the most popular transfer being made this game week. So definitely something that you could be thinking about. Watkins to Wilson, kind of in a kind of a close second in terms of those forward slots. If you would prefer to go for the slightly riskier Wilson, that's absolutely fine as well. He's a real popular player among our experts. But if you don't have a Watkins, or you're not willing to sacrifice Watkins, Tony to Isak works as well, or Wilson, or you could go Jota to Isak or Wilson. Those all work as well. They're very popular moves among our experts, and I feel like they're really good moves as well. In terms of the Solly March situation, so Solly March obviously the most popular transfer out. Well, I mean, let's have a look at this. So McAllister is the obvious replacement. As I say, a lot of our experts already have Mitoma, so they're basically moving March to the only other of the big 3 Brighton midfielders that they don't have. And that's what I would probably do in anyone's situation. If you have March and you want to just play it reasonably safe here, then going from March to whatever main Brighton midfielder you don't own already, there to go for. There's no interest in any other Brighton midfielder other than one person was going for Buonanotte. So there's no Pascal Gross interest at all, for example. So yeah, a simple March to McAllister or Mitoma is really, really obvious. We've got March to Willock here as well. Like I said, Willock is a real player who has got some really nice underlying numbers at the moment. And he's doing pretty well. He's getting the odd FPL return, and he's really, really cheap, so he does free up a little bit of your budget as well, and could work if you can't quite afford the upgrade from March to Joelinton, for example. So yeah, that's definitely something that I would be considering, going for a Willock or Joelinton. These two players are the more differential options, I guess, and it allows you to go in on the Newcastle midfielders, where a lot of people are already tripled up on Newcastle, or they just need to get a Newcastle striker and can't do anything else, or maybe you don't even want to get a Newcastle striker for some reason. You'd have to be pretty crazy, but still, Willock, Joelinton, really nice differentials to go for that a lot of our experts are kind of eyeing up as the differentials to go for in the final few game weeks, where, we're trying to close some gaps at this point. Sometimes you do need to go a little bit different, and maybe one of these players could pay off. And finally, the captaincy. So, yeah, we've already hyped up Isak a little bit in this video, and we're going to do it a little bit more now, because 54% of our experts are captaining Isak in Game Week 36. He is the main captaincy option with 54%. That's over half. That is quite significant. But again, let's not write off Wilson. 25%, again, very, very significant numbers. But it does seem like for every Wilson captain up, there is 2 Isak captainers. So if you're looking to play it safe this week, Isak is going to be your man. Although, to be fair, because we've got Isak only on 54%, and usually with our experts videos, we're kind of seeing at least one player on 70, 80, sometimes even 90% captaincy rate. And on those particular weeks, it's so difficult to go against the grain. Now, because our number 1 captain this week is only on 54%, and I know that seems high, it's still going to be an opportunity for you to go a little bit differential if you don't like Isak, or you don't have Isak, or you're worried about Isak. There are definitely other players to go for. So Wilson, 25%, for example, he is the most sensible of the differential captains, I suppose, as 25%. After that, it is really, really split, and this is the most amount of kind of captaincy options I've ever put on this page. And guess what, guys, this doesn't even cover it. In fact, 11 different captains were chosen by our experts this game week. We'll talk about the 1%ers in just one moment, but we have got Salah against Leicester. Obviously, he has been you know, scoring goals recently, scoring FPL points recently, and Leicester just got absolutely destroyed for goals, so maybe they'll concede some more in this particular game. We've got this Willock at 4%. Now, this one I was so surprised by. I never expected to see Willock at 4%. That is hugely differential. It seems arguably crazy, but like I say, his numbers are decent, you know, so hey, maybe that could pay off somehow. It's a little crazy though, I have to admit, guys. 4% on him though, so maybe someone knows something that I don't. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you've got any thoughts and feelings about Willock captaincy. Kind of bizarre. But after that, we've got Erling Haaland. He's always in the mix, isn't he? Small concerns about resting rotation, or maybe not getting the full 90 minutes against Everton, which I could definitely see happening, to be fair. But Erling Haaland is always going to be a potent and dangerous player if he gets any minutes at all against Everton, and I suspect he probably will. After that, Trippier, another 3%er, Leeds and Brighton. So again, you know, these fixtures are good, and we can see why all of the Newcastle players are so popular in terms of captaincy, because they've got the best double game week out of Newcastle and Brighton. Seems to favour Newcastle a little bit more with that Leeds fixture, Brighton being a home fixture as well after their big defeat against Everton last game week. So Trippier, 3%. You know, if we were talking a few months ago, everyone would say Trippier on a double game week. Hey, why not? Let's captain him. Maybe not so much these days, but still, Leeds are not scoring a terrific amount of goals at the moment, particularly under new management. They're not creating as many chances, and they are wasteful with their chances as they have been pretty much all season. We've got Bruno Fernandes at 2%, so another single game week player here who is being considered for captaincy. The third, you know, most popular single game week player against Wolves at home. Again, Wolves with nothing to play for. Manchester United desperately need to bounce back. Fernandes, Rashford, these kind of players, we're expecting them to do quite well, but Fernandes, for some reason, has 2%, and Rashford has nothing at all. Maybe that's due to Fernandes' really good form at the moment, even though he hasn't necessarily been scoring FPL points consistently. Get your penalties as well. Speaking of penalties, Mac Allister, 2%. So the only person that, from Brighton with 2% or more captaincy pick rate among our experts is Mac Allister with just 2. Arsenal and Newcastle, they have slightly more difficult fixtures, but Mac Allister actually played really well over the last couple of games. He has been one of Brighton's better players, if not their best player, to be fair. Has he converted that into FPL points? Well, yes, he has, but maybe with a little bit of luck with the penalty. But still, he has been taking a lot of shots on recently and actually looking pretty decent. So could he be the new main man with Solly March injured, or is Kaoru Mitoma going to be the man? Well, one person thinks they do. So onto the 1%ers. We've got 3 1%ers this game week. Kaoru Mitoma, one person captaining him, one person captaining Joelinton, and one person captaining Kevin De Bruyne as well. So among our experts, we've got 11 different options. That is a lot. I think there's a lot of really interesting differential captains, and I feel like this could be genuinely a week to go for one of the differential captains. But if you want to play it safe, Isak. If you want to play it kind of safe, but also kind of risky, a little bit risky, then Wilson. After that, have some fun with it. I guess there's a few single game week options there and some other options at Newcastle and Brighton as well. But yeah, guys, really interested to know who you are thinking about captaining. Is it just the standard safe Isak? Are you going to go a little bit risky with Wilson, or are you going to go absolutely crazy with some of these other options there? It seems to be all about Isak and Wilson. Those Newcastle strikers seem to be the main subject and hype, really, for this game week, though. Thank you so much for watching this video today, guys. Can we smash 1,000 likes on this video? That would be pretty sick. Thank you if you can help with that. Do subscribe. We've got 2 more Experts videos this season, and we've got a couple more Game Week 36 videos this week as well. So I hope to see you on some of them. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Once again, check out some of the other videos I posted this week already. And aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.